Cheers. With my mushroom glass. I don't even remember where we got the mushroom glass. Somebody gave it to us. My wife got it at a garage sale. I don't even recall. It was very recent we got the mushroom glass. It contains a little bit of grenadine, a little bit of vodka, and a little bit of sugar-free energy drink. Because, you know, you got to be sugar-free. You don't want to be consuming sugar with your alcohol. So, anyway, hope everybody's doing well tonight. Recently, I've started a couple of these live casts, and I've decided not to fulfill them, so I figured this one I better fulfill it if I'm going to set it for a certain time. Not that it matters, but I'll just wait for a moment until people join, and I hope everyone's doing well tonight. I just got back from the grocery store, and every time I go to the store, I think, well, I should stop by the electronics department and see if they have anything that piques my interest, I guess. But mostly, I'm usually looking for information cards, like SD cards. So I walked in there and I looked down, and they had these 128 gigabyte SD cards for $10. It said 80% off. I was like, wait a minute, is this right? I grabbed the little cards, and then you have to take them up to the front to pay for it. And when I went up there, the guy was like, oh, these aren't for sale. They were like $50 or something. And I was like, no. And he's like, oh, these cards were in the wrong spot. So we went back. It was the right gigabyte, the right data. And he was insistent. He's like, are you sure that you want this kind, though? He's like, these are only for cameras. They don't fit in your cell phone. And I looked at the guy, and I'm like, dude, I I've been around the block. I'm well aware this doesn't fit my cell phone. No offense, you know, but these standard SD cards do fit in the camera that I'm using over here, which is my secondary camera. I don't know why I'm recording from two angles, but I also have my voice recorder going, and I thought, just in case, since I'm doing an evening ramble, perhaps it'll become a podcast. Perhaps it'll become a video that I'd rather have a good quality copy. And the reason why this particular one looks like shit is because it's a live broadcast, but that allows me to interact with the people. And I found I really like that. I do. So, it's pretty cheesy when you're recording yourself from multiple angles, and you think, who the fuck am I to be recording myself from multiple angles? I'm not the first YouTuber to think that. Like, who the hell wants to listen to me ramble about bullshit? But apparently people do. I found a new channel the other day. I'm trying to remember his name. Bo something. And no, it's not Bo the Fifth Column, which he's great. Bo the Fifth Column, he's I believe he was maybe not a Marine, but he was a merchant or he dealt with the military. Maybe, I think he was a contractor or something. He's seems a little younger than me. He's got a big red beard, and he just sits in his garage and he talks about politics. He's a really good guy. Very intelligent, very well aware, very self-aware. Bo is an amazing dude. But that's not the Bo I'm talking about. This is a different Bo who did an experiment where he ate nothing but beans. His body weight in beans, for example. But he did a video the other day that was kind of like really heartfelt. And it was something that made me kind of acknowledge that in my own life, I feel the same way. He's like, he said, you know, I spent so much time trying to make good YouTube videos, which that's not my scenario, because I've been the opposite, but I'll get to that. It's like I've spent all this time exploring and traveling the world trying to make these amazing videos, not realizing that it's not about the adventure or, you know, hang gliding or hiking or running or showing these amazing views, but rather telling a story. And this is something I've really been trying to embrace lately, something I've really tried to acknowledge, understand, and then reconcile, and then make use of. If you don't know who Joseph Campbell is, he's one of the greatest storytellers of my time, our time, my parents' time, really. But he died a while back, but very intelligent guy. He was one of the guys in the 60s, 70s, and 80s who talked about how mythology was basically us, our story of the past and who we are, and what we're obligated to, what family means, what it means to be a human being. And some of these issues are the most crucial things that we face in our lifetime. I mean, all of them are. But, it's really hard to talk about life and a lifetime and the things we need to know without acknowledging the fact that it's over in a fucking heartbeat, people. I mean, I'll be 45 next week. For me, I'm enjoying my life. I have a great family. I have a few friends that understand that I guess I have a very, I've set my boundaries. People know that I don't put up with bullshit or feel obligated to call people or answer my phone or any of that, and I just do my own thing. And by the way, I see people are posting comments, and I'll definitely get to that. But when I'm in my flow state, I got to just keep rambling, and that's why it's hard to answer questions at the same time as be in my flow state. But I definitely will get to that, and I'll answer every single fucking question because I always do. And that's a main point of my video, which is about obligation. As I said, it's about who are you obligated to? Am I obligated to my family, my kids, my wife, my parents, my brother, my subscribers, my friends, people who are just acquaintances who stop by once in a while? What are the limits of who we give a shit about impressing? And that's what I'd like to talk about tonight. The only person, I should say the only people, no, I can't even say that. If I want to be honest with myself, I have to say that everybody's opinion on earth matters to me. But I do draw the line at people who are miserable. And this is really the crux of my conversation here and why this is important. There are a lot of people out there who are just hateful, spiteful, angry, pissed off at the world, angry at themselves. They haven't had good luck, but they haven't made their own luck. They've been caught in the crossfires. Many people have had a lot of issues that they can't deal with. It's not their fault. But others have just dug their own hole. Maybe they decided to party their whole youth away and not work, not have a family. And then they get old and they complain and go, oh, poor me, I don't have enough money and I don't have anybody who loves me. And you think, there are people out there who really, truly are lonely and they're trying. Other people who just have wasted their life away and been complete morons, bought sports cars, wasted their fortunes away, born with a silver spoon and tossed it off. And I can't imagine being that person, but I could imagine how miserable it would be to lose all that wealth and then step back and say, damn, life is more complicated than I thought it was. It's not about what car you drive. It's about who loves you, who respects you. And that sounds arrogant, but it's not at all. If your family loves you, then often how we try to understand who we are is by bouncing it off of other people, bouncing it off of the world and looking at what's going on around us, right? And God, it's a complicated life, and I don't know whose opinion is valuable, right? So I guess what it comes down to is, what do you want out of each other? And I'm going to get to failure to thrive and the COVID issue in a minute, but I don't want to get too much into that. But I'm going to back up for a minute and say hello to everybody. Hello, DB. What up, peeps? He says. What up, sheep masker, says Allfree. A sheep masker is a person who wears a mask just because government says so. If you wear for another reason, you are just a masker, not a sheep masker. I don't know what that means, or if that's sarcastic or serious. I can't process that comment right now. I'll just say this. I have an entire page in my journal, 2 pages dedicated to drawing out a map of the shepherd, the sheep, the pen, the woods, the predators or the wolves. And there are shepherds, and then there are wolves. The wolves are the ones who are trying to take advantage of others, whether it be through convincing them, one way or another, or selling them something because we think we're right and they're wrong. I don't know exactly what the best path is to acknowledge what's true and what's not, but I guess if you could clarify that comment, I could get further in on it. DB says, yo, it's my birthday today, guys. Well, fuck yeah, DB. I noticed, DB, you had a DB Music before, and I'm curious to know if you record tunes. If you do, it's funny. My 11-year-old son is weird. He made this beat the other day on this little beat maker app that he has on his pad. We got him a Samsung pad for his birthday, and kids these days, they need their music. They need a pad. And he wrote this amazing song, and my wife even said, she's like, you should use that on your dad's channel, and I thought, dude, totally, that's a great tune. I thought this is the future, is like collaborations between families. Of course, it's always been a thing, but the technology allows us to do something different at a younger age. He doesn't need the keyboard, even though we have a keyboard, several basses, guitars, all these different amplifiers and simulators and synthesizers and fucking amplifiers. I've got an 8-track. There's all kinds of things we could use to record, but that's a whole different story. But I get way off track. Sorry for rambling, but DB, if you play music, let me know, and move on from there. Sportcaster says, happy birthday, DB. Frank says, what do you think about dextrose amphetamine pills in soldiers' MREs? Honestly, I think that amphetamines would be a great thing to give a soldier. Now, don't get me wrong. It's horrible. Do not do it. You should not do it. It's a joke. I'm being sarcastic, and I know a lot of people don't know my sarcasm and humor. But yeah, amphetamines are awesome. They get you going. They fucking get you motivated. They last a long time. I am not surprised if that happened at all. I'm well aware that Hitler was a very big promoter of amphetamines. He didn't invent them, but he gave them to all. Dude, there's some crazy stories about Nazis and the Blitzkrieg, which is like the Lightning War. The Blitzkriegs were like, the Western forces were completely fucking blown away by how fast these Germans moved across the land. They really were just basically sleeping on the job, thinking, no big deal, French and whatnot. All of a sudden, they're just blasting through with all these tanks and soldiers, just like, because they were fucking tweaking. They were tweakers in World War II, and that's why the Germans were so successful. Benzedrine tablets or bennies, things like that, later on were a thing. But back then, it was just these amphetamines that were fed to these soldiers. And it's pretty crazy. It's a really crazy story. But I hope that answers your question. I'm well aware of amphetamines. I'm very well versed in amphetamines. I've never talked about them on my channel. In the 4,000 plus videos I've made, I rarely mention white drugs, what I call white drugs, or snorting a line of something, right? Or shooting it, if you so, desire. It's a forbidden subject, something I don't like to talk about, but something I understand. I've never put a needle in my arm, okay? Almost every person I know, let me think. Almost every person I know has put a needle in their arm at least once. But no, that's not true. At least half the people I know. There's a lot of people I know who have, but I've left behind, so I don't consider them acquaintances or friends anymore. When I've seen people lose it and lose their mind on drugs, lose their ability to control it, that's when it's time to walk away. I've stayed away from heroin. I've stayed away from cocaine for years. I've never touched heroin, okay, except smoking it or taking, other opioids or pharmaceuticals, which honestly are just as bad. And I've had my day with pharmaceuticals. I've had my day with benzodiazepines. I've had my day with cocaine, not realizing, holy shit, what have I done? Amphetamines, something I really rather not talk about right now, but let me just say that the tweaker days are something that I blocked out stupidity. Just fucking stupidity. And then reading a comic book, Snowbud. Hit the bong, you can't go wrong. You know, it was like stick to the bong, you know, and don't consume any of these other things. But I'm only saying this because I want younger people out there, or anybody who's watching this, even though there's only 22 people watching this right now. Out of those 22 people, at least a few of you might be younger. And you might have tried drugs. You might have, uh, you know, smoked pot once in a while, had a few beers, whatnot. Let me just say, you're better off staying sober. You're better off being straight. You'll be happier. But at the same time, there's a certain desire from humans to consume certain psychedelic substances to connect with one another. You have to do your research, and there's lots of it to do. So, um, let me move on because I don't know how far we're at. Wait, did I just see Space Traveler? Oh my fucking god. Dude, I've been meaning to call you, brother. I'm such a dick. I'm the worst fucking friend, honestly. I met Space at a Dead show or a Fish show a couple of years back. Motherfucker was so cool. He was hanging out at my campsite by my school bus. He didn't have a ticket to the show. We went in, came back out, and he's like, "Yeah, some fucker was snooping around your coolers," and he scared him off. And I was like, "This guy's fucking cool as shit." We hung out all night and tripped. I don't mind. I don't want to like, you know, reveal your fucking life, bro. But, you know, we tripped. We had a good time. We talked about Les Claypool and Primus. By the way, Primus sucks. And we went through some great times that night, and we bonded. And since then, he's been over a couple times. Doesn't have cell service all the time, so I always think, should I call? I don't call people, and I'm really bad about phone calls. So, Space, if you're still out there, dude, feel free to comment. You're a fucking homeboy. You're one of my tight friends, and I'm not good at expressing that. And that's really in lines with this motherfucking... Sorry, I hate saying motherfucking. That's like the most tacky thing. This fucking video means a lot because it's important to me. Like, what do we owe each other? Like I've said, I set my boundaries, but I'm also awkward in my own way. I grew up with acne as a dork with a mullet, not understanding my place, wearing a shirt in junior high that said Persian Gulf Yacht Club. I mean, I can see why I was made fun of. I can see why I was picked on and teased. I get it. And I'm trying to own up to who I am and my older age. I am the most grateful motherfucker on earth. There I go again. Honestly, I got my wife out there. I've got 3 boys. I've got a mother who loves me, even though we don't get along all the time. I've got a brother who loves me, and I love him, even though we don't get along all the time. I've got some good friends, my buddy Scoey, my buddy Kevin, my buddy Tim. And I didn't want to name off friends because when you start doing that, you have to name them all off. My buddy Space, my buddy Joel. You know, we've been... Oh, that's weird. Because Traveler, my friend is Traveler. He's the one a lot of you mentioned that you knew and you remembered from harvesting weed with me. Space Traveler is a different friend. So I want to make sure that that's clear. So, hey brother, it's good to see you. Really, fucking yeah. Frank says, glad you're alive again, Carpo Peace. Yeah, I am alive again, dude. I got my shop set up, and I'm honestly ready to build some fucking woodwork. I got skills, and I've never used them in years. Like, I've been so depressed for so long and holding back from doing these things. Even though it's still hard, I'm building up to it. I'm really trying to recover who I was. And that's impossible. But you do hit a point in your 40s where you kind of like, oh, fuck. And then now I'm just like, screw it. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm not going to say, I need to write a book, or I need to start a channel where I can get money from this or that, or I need to help do all these weed grow operations, or all these other things that I've been wanting to do, mushrooms. Like, what's the point? I have all these ideas to make money, but money is not my main priority. But money is what I need to survive. Therefore, what I'm doing is thinking, how do I make money and still enjoy myself? And I thought I can do carpentry and film that shit. So I set up my shop. Now I got a bunch of scrap wood set up and highly inspired to go out and make some cool stuff. I'm going to make some cutting boards, some paddles, things like that, and then just sell them on my site. It's like, why not? And I'll tell you why not. Because I don't always have the fucking self-assurity that I am worthy of doing these things. When I actually build something or show something online, I think, is this the best method? Oh, what are my subscribers going to think? Is this going to be, am I going to get picked on by one or two motherfucking idiots out there who I don't even care about their opinion? So I've said motherfucking now like 3 times. So I figure maybe I should step back for a minute. What's the point of this video? I'll get to that. DB says you should read The Philosophies of India by, one of his students, Joseph Camp. Wait. What, really? Joseph Campbell's awesome. Love that guy. Where are we at? I'm going to back up a little bit. Ronan says, stay away if possible. What, from 40 ounce to freedom, or for kratom, or for cocaine, or any of the other drugs? It's easy to fucking, DB says, I'm a fellow Washingtonian, Carpo. Well, right on. I didn't know that. Curious to know, we should hang out sometime. I've had subscribers say we should have a meetup or do something. It's like, when I say that's just weird to me, it's not because of you, it's because of me. Be brutally honest, I'm awkward, not you, okay? It's not that I didn't want to have a meetup, it's that, can I imagine walking into a group of fucking people, subscribers, and meeting up at some, like, I heard one YouTuber had like a meetup at a rest stop or something with a bunch of people, subscribers. I'm like, what would I do showing up with a bunch of people who know me? Like, oh, hey, look, it's me, Carpo. Like, I have some magic things to tell you, and I know everything. It's like, I don't know shit. I don't. I'm just a guy who once in a while writes down a bunch of notes, and like these ones I got over here about all these stupid ideas for fixing global warming, which, I'm a supporter. I'm an environmentalist myself, but, putting sand on glaciers to reflect the sun, and putting iron in the sea to feed plankton to eat more carbon dioxide. I mean, it's like mind fucked living in this world. There's so much intelligence and so much awesomeness, yet so many stupid ideas that you can't really say are stupid because people get offended by it. And so now in the last 5 years, we got to this point where I used to 5 years ago say, oh, I'm a liberal and people should, not offend each other, to saying, oh, God, cancel culture is bullshit and you should be offended. Complete turnaround, 180. I mean, I have a completely different view on all this hippie shit that I did 5 years ago, but I'm still a hippie at heart. I still care about people. That's what matters, I guess. I'm going to try to catch up with the comments here. Yeah, Space Primus sucks. Yeah, you're fucking awesome, brother. DB says, when I was 18, I picked mushrooms for the first time in Seattle. I met with an elderly hippie. Hey, man, that's fucking awesome. And one of the parks, he helped me find a new... Oh, dude, that's great. If you've ever picked cyanescens, you know what's up. Azurescens out in the Oregon coast and Washington. They're just insane. Too strong for me. Ronan says, I suck at keeping in touch with family and friends. Not sure why it's so hard. I totally agree, man. Logic says, Persian Gulf Yacht Club. See, I'm way behind now. Shit. I get behind on the comments. Sorry about that. I'm just going to read through them now instead of rambling on them. I'm trying to get into the flow state of dealing with comments at the same time as me talking about life, and then having a camera over here and my recorder over here. It's very awkward. Frank wants to make his own cakes. Yeah, me too, man. Inoculation. Yeah, I hear you, brother. People get offended by the truth, says Andy. Are you kidding me? DB likes, didn't find any Azzies, only cyans. They're my favorites. Nice. I haven't never found cyans. I found Azzies. I've just never looked that hard because I always have mushrooms, but I never want to buy or go picking because it's like, it actually costs money. I think of it like fishing. Like, people think, you can go out and pick mushrooms, that's amazing. And I think, well, it's like fishing. You can go out and fish for salmon, that's amazing. But you spend how much on bait, lures, gas money, all these other things to drive out and do it. And if you don't get enough to make it worth it, you might as well just buy a fish from the store. It's the same thing as buying mushrooms off a grower. I mean, I guess. But there's also the adventure. Um, and I'm going to tell you this right now. I missed it this year. The truth is, I can probably go out right now and pick Azzies. If any of you live near the coast, let me know if you've seen any lately. The truth be, if there's still some out there in the next week, I'd like to go out and actually take photos of the Azurescens, do a video, and make a YouTube video. So if there's any subscribers that live out by the coast that know where there's mushrooms, for the sake of video, it would be great to do it and just to meet somebody. It'd be fun. It'd be awkward for me because I'm weird, but it'd be awkward for you too. I'm reading through the comments. Sorry, I'm not just sitting here like holding my chin. It's kind of hard to let you know what I'm doing. Kevin says, I got some cubenzas from a festival buddy and they were amazing. Only took a couple. Yeah, I've got a few too, man. Yeah. Troy says, yep, they're still out there. Good. Space says, we've been talking about a trip for like 2 years now, bro. Well, Space, let's go, dude. I mean, if the thing is, I need confirmation they're there. A couple of years ago, I went and spent a bunch of money to go to the beach, and I didn't find shit. I was like, um, we didn't find very much at all. In fact, I've still got a bottle up here of some shit my buddy made several years ago when the first time I went and picked Azzies. And I didn't find many, but I had a great time. Honestly, I don't care if I find any, as long as there's even one or two. And I'm pretty sure we went in November. And when we went, we stayed at Fort Stevens State Park. We stayed next to a yurt, even though we couldn't rent it because you had to rent it at least 24 hours ahead of time. So we had to camp in this like little gullet camp spot. Me and Space Traveler, Traveler, not Space Traveler, my buddy Traveler, who is a truck driver. He's Joel. He was out here a while ago, and we were talking about doing a podcast. But anyway, it'd be great to go out there and do that. I'm like the rest of you. I have moments where I'm like, this is what I really want to do, and then moments where I'm like, oh, I'm awkward and feeling weird today, and I don't really want to do anything with anybody, and I don't want to answer my phone. I don't want to answer comments. I don't want to answer questions or even emails for my business. And that's kind of where I'm coming from today. I'm really trying to like let that out because I feel like a lot of other people understand where I'm coming from. It's really hard to explain these things, but we are all awkward. So that comes to the title of my video where it's like, what the fuck do we really expect from each other? Do I have to answer all my comments, all my emails? Do I have to answer my family, friends? Who exactly do I decide matters? Now, if you got a wife, ooh, that matters. If you're a man and you got a wife, you better not fucking back down. You better not, you better not step up. You better do your thing. Stand up for yourself, of course, but in honesty, most men know when they fucked up, and women are very, very, very perceptive. The women are smarter, as the Grateful Dead song goes. And watch all the viewers drop off. Oh, fuck that. Women aren't smarter. I'm a male chauvinist. I don't give a shit about that. I'll just go back to my mushroom cup for a minute. Vodka, grenadine, and Rockstar. If you must know. This camera, that camera. Oh my god, I'm famous. I'm being watched from every angle. Some of you may have seen the post earlier where I showed you this. Just simple, it's a stupid knife, butter knife that I found in the garage. So I put an edge on it. It was in my toolbox. Put a double edge on it, ran it through my diamond grinder, my sanders, all these things, then put it across a strop and made this amazingly sharp edge on it. So sharp that I don't even want to go near it. It's like, paper slicing thin, right? And I thought, maybe I could make these and actually sell them or share them with other people, but just for the fun of it, why make it more complicated than it has to be? In other words, you see these like YouTube videos of these dudes who have these giant furnaces in these huge shops and these in slow motion, they're doing all this crazy shit, and it's like, oh yeah, well I bought mine from Goodwill and just resharpened it for $1. I don't know. I'm hoping you know where I'm coming from on that one, because that doesn't mean that I'm cheapening knife making, but from what I've seen on YouTube, a lot of the knife making is actually taking blanks and just grinding them down. If you can fold the metal yourself and do it like ancient Japanese sword work or Damascus steel, that's a different story. Like I was just saying, I have this knife over here that's, God, I love this thing. Why do I like touching the blade on a knife? Mentioned this before, but it's a buck knife, just a very simple buck knife, nothing special about it. I think it's a 195C or 192C. Is that right? Can't see it right now, but perfect sheath, everything about it's just right. I'm going to flip through the comments real quick here. DB says, I walked away from the bag full of them right next to the water growing in dune grasses. God damn it. See, I should have flipped through that comment right away. Okay. Namax Trails. Any good crafting ideas to make with petrified wood? Hell yeah. You can make pendants with petrified wood. Besides being, a carpenter and wanting to work with metal and make knives, I'm also a lapidary dude. I'm obsessed with working with natural materials, and I have a lapidary wheel out there with a polishing wheel. And if you want to polish stones, what you want is cerium oxide. I think it's up to like 5,000 or 6,000 grit. Super, super fine. It's like a pink powder that you put into a paste, and you put it on a polishing wheel, and I polish the hell out of my stones. You can polish jewelry, anything. It's meant for glass polishing, basically, taking out scratches. Amazing for lapidary work. But I really like working with stones. I mean, it's awesome. Petrified wood, if it's good, if it has a high silica content, slice that shit really thin. Make sure you get the max out of it. And do it up. Polish that shit. It's good stuff. Make jewelry out of it. I don't know what else to make out of it, so Troy says you have to find a place that isn't over harvested. I know. It's funny, I was just showing a knife the other day that I found when I was hunting Azzies years ago. A perfect mushroom knife. It's called a Hawk's Bill, but it's an old timer, which is like a Schrade knife. I found it like when I was down on my hands and knees looking for mushrooms in a place where you would not expect to find a knife that wasn't rusted. It was weird. Somebody had just dropped it recently. It was like dark black, weird thing that I would find it. But I said, this will be my mushrooming knife from now on. It has a hawk's bill, like a curved tip. So it's perfect for slicing mushrooms off. But yeah, maybe I'll end up going there. Shit. Space says, I know someone on the coast. We'd hear it. Found like 10. How big, though? How big of 10, man? Did you find saucers? Flying saucers? Or did you find the ones I found last time? I mean, I've got some up here and some absinthe my friend made, and I'm like, yeah. Frank says, it's been 10 years since I did my 4 grams. Yeah, I haven't done my hero dose in a while. I usually like to do at least 4 to 5 grams. My buddy Joel, or Traveler, and I did split a half ounce, 7.5 grams. The truth is, that's not bragging. It's the opposite. Because I know people have talked about the hero ounce dose, like Kalind Lee, or whoever that fucking guy was on YouTube a few years back, where he was talking about how he'd eaten like an ounce of mushrooms and he saw the predator walk through the room, and I'm like, Well, why are you seeing the predator? You know, what kind of fucking shit is that? Like, you don't need to take that many mushrooms. What you need to do is still be in touch with your reality, but be able to embrace change and rewire your brain. Having other people with you can be really useful, um, which goes in the line of the video title of, you know, who we're obligated to. We're obligated to ourselves, honestly, first. You get your shit together. You fucking figure out what you need to do. You be a man. You know, I hate to say that. Not that term, being a man, a tough guy, but being, yeah, you got to be tough, especially if you are a man. And deal with the shit as it comes, man. Because it will come. It does come. All the time. Gyro says Space Traveler sounds like a strain of weed. Well, yeah, Carpo sounds like a fucking planet of Jupiter, or a moon of Jupiter, which is actually true. It is. But the truth is, Carpo is a moon of Jupiter, but it was named after I chose that name for my nickname. So, Jupiter's a follower. Let's put it that way. The coincidence is that Jupiter is actually my planet, supposedly. But I don't want to get into all that bullshit. Kevin says, I agree, we need all mutual understanding of awkwardness. Yes, we do. We really do. It's not going to happen because we're always having a new type of awkward that we don't understand. Theodore says, YouTube will unsub you to, so screenshot my page. What does that mean? I don't know what you mean. Andre says, sometimes a man needs his space. Hey, yeah, I do need space. Where you at, bro? Come on down. Fort Stevens is pretty well picked over right now, says Troy. But with enough intentions. Well, that's what happened to me last time. Actually, they were way overpicked. It was late November, and I didn't really care. We were out there in the pouring rain for 3 full days. Didn't expect to find anything. And I ended up finding maybe an 8. And if I go for a whole day and I come out with a 1/4 ounce, I'm happy. If I go for a whole day and I come out with a gram, I'm happy. I don't even care, really. I just want to have fun. Honestly, talk to people. Hey, how many of you want to go out and meet on the Oregon coast and go on a mushroom picking adventure to celebrate the decriminalization of psychedelics in Oregon? It's pretty fucking awesome, right? Next year, of course, it probably hasn't gone into effect yet. I get that, but next year it won't even matter. Andre says the knife video was interesting. Yeah, I like knives. I mean, I honestly, to be brutally honest, I enjoy firearms too, but I don't talk about them because I'm smart enough to know better. People get put on lists and become, you know, I'm not a gun dude, but I know how to shoot. So when the zombies attack, I'll know what I'm doing. Frank says, women don't have external, they have internal? No, I don't know what you mean. I have no idea. A woman can throw a knife better than me. Dude, women are a better aim. It's been proven over and over again. Women are better at aiming and focusing than men. Men have been scared of women for a long time. I hate to say it, but it's true. It really is. I'm so glad to have a wife that I love. I mean, she might even be watching my live bullshit right here. Just be like, oh, God. You know, we've been together for 21 years. She knows all my subtleties. She knows, oh, he's had a couple drinks and he's being a little over, you know, over the top maybe. Or maybe not. I don't know. And that's maybe one of the beauties. Nobody knows how other people view them. And that's why we're always insecure. Why don't you all tell me a story, you know? Tell me what it means to be a human. Thanks, Andre. Food Stamp Sally. Is that a real YouTube name? That's great. Oh shit, I have no idea. So love shopping with you yesterday, Josh. Can't wait to do it again. How many of you love shopping as much as I do? So I'm curious to know. Because this is really funny to me. The fact that there's somebody called Food Stamp Sally talking about shopping with. I know that somebody made an account just to troll me, and I'm curious to know why. Like, what would inspire a person to do that? Because some people would be truly offended. I get it. Food stamps, haha, shopping with Josh. Um, I'm doing okay. Fortunately, I don't have to worry about food stamps yet. But one day I might, so better watch my ass, right? Andre says you can do my shopping for me. Space says got foodies. What do you mean got foodies? I don't know. I don't know what you mean. I've got food goodies and I've got good foodies, but I don't have foodies. It was a foodsy. Yeah. Dude, I'm not cool enough to know that yet. I'm only 45 or 44. I'll be 45 soon. Then I'll know all that shit. Frank says half the time I'm on my knees and half the time I'm on my knees and hand. I was gonna say half the time I'm on my knees and hard is what it looked like to me. Half the time I'm on my knees and hard while searching for what I knew. LOL. I think I said hand, but I said hard because it was much more perverted and hilarious. Troy says the little ones are stronger per volume than any large ones, but at least, yep. Hold on. There we go. Let's just own being 45, right? Put this shit on. Fuck yeah. Oh my god, that's so much more. Oh man. God, technology's great. I've refused to wear glasses my whole life. These are just like 1 point reading glasses, but man. Troy says the little ones are stronger per volume than large ones, at least, but please, y'all, make sure the spores get spread, the mycelium habitat don't get too wrecked. Amen. Frank says, I know a lot of people now are microdosing. Ugh, I'm not a big fan of microdosing, but I think it might help some people. Oh, look, there's 33 people watching. You know what that means? It's Illuminati. Microdosing can help some people. I think I really can. I really think it can. But personally, I don't know. I don't do it because I want the big doses that help me. But maybe I should microdose. I don't know. I change opinions all the time. Food Stamp Sally says I don't like shrooms. Makes me feel like I had modeling clay. Like modeling clay? You are modeling clay, my friend. That's the beauty. That's what they call neuroplasticity. That's a perfect example. Earth is flat. There are no moons around Jupiter. Haha. Frank says, I'm glad Carpo is going live. Cool, thanks. Yeah, I'm glad too. Andre. Space says, same way. I prefer the fam doses. I'm at the farm, yo. Yeah, you're up north, huh? I think you're up in the place where we've been looking for land, which is basically Oroville, North Washington, Northern Idaho, Panhandle, but I want to stay on the Washington side because of the, politics. But I really want to get over there and look for some land. And I all I want is like 20 acres with a stream, a little bit of wood. But my wife found a place in Kentucky the other day. It's like 230 acres, I think. It's so much space. It's like 230 acres with 2 waterfalls, streams. I mean, blue fucking waterfalls, gorgeous waterfalls. And it's like, God, $250,000, I think. I don't know. We're talking about this. I don't want to move to fucking. I do not want to live in goddamn Mitch McConnell, Kentucky land. But, Yeah, who are you, Food Stamp Sally? I'm curious to know. I'm really curious to know. I mean, do you have a whatever. Doesn't matter. I'll shoot you an email. I'm your Huckleberry, Carpo. I'll shoot you an email. All right, do it up, man. I'm really bad about answering emails, but I try as soon as I can. Like, I get there, I see them, and I'm like, I got to answer all these questions and stuff like that. I hate technology, dude. It just puts me in a weird predicament because I really just want to live on a piece of land in an intentional community. Don't want to have to worry about money. I just want to be able to grow food. And the thing is, I work my ass off when I got a purpose. I have no intention on like hiding from responsibility. It's just that I don't want to be part of society's responsibility, paying taxes, doing the typical bullshit. I just fucking don't like it. It's not working for me. Just put it that way, right? DB says, I want to go. Hey, you can go, man. That'd be great. I mean, honestly, Food Stamp says, what are you guys talking about? None of your business. You're obviously not a human being, so I can't talk to you. Claudia says, that would be an awesome field trip. Yeah, email me, guys, and we'll talk about it. Let's do it. Actually, that'd be pretty cool. DB says, why did the carpenter's wife fall in love with him? Yeah, that's a good question. I worked at a gas station at the time, actually. Didn't know much about carpentry at all. She worked next door at a place called Banning's. It was a restaurant in Tigard, Oregon. And I worked at a Texaco gas station next door. And at 6 in the morning, I'd go in there and get fucking free pancakes and shit. Well, I'd pay for them, but she'd give me deals and, you know, kickdowns. And so I'd order these breakfasts with like pancakes and ham and all this stuff. And in Oregon, it's not self-service, so you have to pump gas, so you need attendants there. So all we do is just sit back in what they call the, you know, either the dog house or the main area and just smoke weed all day. So I get breakfast, get ripped, you know, just kick back, get stoned, drink and party and tweak or whatever it was back there in the mid-90s. It was a pretty crazy time. So that's an answer to your question. Andre says, I was surprised when you said you made the bear killer. You know what you mean by firearms. What a shame. Well, let me just say, the bear killer was a joke. I'd never kill a bear. I ran across one on the trail, actually. Let me just put it this way. I've always wanted to see a bear on the trail. My son and I went to Montana last August. Not this last August. Time's been flying. But the August before, we went to Montana. My oldest son was planning on a trip out east and something fell through, so he's like, let's go to Montana. So we went out there, hiked out in Glacier National Park, intended on seeing a bear. So we're hiking down this crazy trail. It was like a 15-mile round trip. And I was like, I'm just like, no, we're going to see a bear. I just know it. And we're walking down, we're not even a mile in, and there's a giant pile of bear shit on the trail. Fresh, steamy bear shit. And I was like, all right, we're going to see a bear. Went all the way down, didn't see anything, to the lake, to the head of the lake. Came all the way back. About halfway back, I'm walking through this overbrush where you're supposed to be holding a bell or singing or doing your thing to make sure you don't get attacked. I'll be honest, I was irresponsible. I wanted to see a bear. So we were quiet. And at that moment, I was just thinking, I'm going to see a bear. I'm going to see a bear. Walked around the corner and there's a fucking bear. A big black bear. A big black bear. My son's behind me and he's kind of talking and I was like, shh. We both stopped. And he looks up. And he's like, a few seconds passed and he goes, get out of here, bear. Because he'd been trained to scare off bears, right? And he was right to do that. He was. Even though black bears are very non-malicious, you know. But it was pretty funny. It was pretty humorous in the long run. Because I was standing there. I had a loaded 357 with a Smith & Wesson revolver with hollow points in it, ready. But the thing is, even if that bear charged me, I would not have shot him. I didn't even draw. I had no intention on doing that. And some people hear that and maybe, oh, you know, Carpo carries a gun? It's like, dude, fuck yeah, you're a moron if you go out in Glacier National Park and you don't carry a firearm. You know, you want to carry bear spray, do it. I didn't have bear spray and it was expensive and I had a firearm, so I was like, whatever. The point being that you need to defend yourself in any situation and be smart enough to determine what you need. If I had fired it, it would have been in the air and I would have dodged to the side. Black bears don't attack people. It's just not a thing. Even if it was a goddamn monstrous, you know, a cougar or a grizzly bear, I would still stand my ground or run, depending on what it was, and try not to shoot, because no, I would not shoot anything. So that's a long way of saying the bear killer knife was kind of a joke, but I carry that knife when I'm in dangerous territory. For those who don't know, it's like a, you know, like a 10-inch big ass blade. If I was encountering a cougar that was trying to jump onto me, I would cut its damn throat. And I've planned for it in my mind. I've thought over and over when I'm in the woods, if an animal came out, this is what I would attempt to do. This is how I would duck and dodge, and this is, like if a dog attacked me, how I would cut it. It's it's horrible to think about, but you're, as a human, if you're dumb to not think about those things. And I know that sounds stupid, and I'm sure like the right wingers are cheering like, oh, he pays attention, and a lot of liberals are probably disgusted by it. But that's the problem. We're too divided on these things. There are dangers out there we need to deal with and be able to deal with. So, anyway, DB says he had a large tool and knew how to use it. Goddamn right. Um, I watched an interview, Murky. Hey, Murky. He says, I watched an interview with Kalindi, or I'm sorry, I said he, could be a he or she, where he just grabbed his pillow and laid fetal in the dark with 30 plus grams of Cubensis. Oh my God, that's a lot of cubies, dude. That's a lot of cubies. Too many. Space Traveler, give you 50 cents on the dollar for them foodie stamps. Straight up, brother. Real Folk Blues, how you doing? He says, how you like the live video format. Do you find it easier on the feedback from commenters on the fly? I find talking to a camera harder than I thought. Digging the format, by the way. You know what? Like I said, after 10 years, I've never done live because I thought it would be too weird. One time I accidentally went live, and it was just too weird for me. And I thought, I'm going to have to get over this because it's more fun. I enjoy it a lot more. In fact, if I were ever to do like any type of like journalism or, newscasting, I would have to know how to do something live and answer comments, right? And I see some of these douchebags on there like that are getting all these crazy donations and like they have these nutty like political channels, but they don't say shit. And I'm like, fuck, I could do that. It's so easy, but I don't want to talk about politics. So I'll just sit here and talk about psychedelics and shit instead. Kevin says McMenamin's Grand Lodge Freemasonry. What do you mean, bro? Actually, Freemasonry is fascinating to me, but McMenamin's is a place I wanted to go this weekend, actually. What is up with the shopping carts? I have no idea. Fact. Do not go to Kentucky, says Claudia. Oh God, why not? I think I might. I might move there. I really might. No, I'm kidding. I'm really kidding. I don't want to go to Kentucky. I have no intention. James, hello James, Dublin. He says Carpo's a good person. I'm sure that he did not intend to have everyone pick on Food Stamp Sally. No, Food Stamp Sally opened her or himself up to it by starting out with trolling, even for fun. So it's not like it's a harsh thing or a bad thing. See, my fucking camera died. Beep, beep, beep. Fuck all that. My phone doesn't die because it's plugged in, and I can't do that with my camera. Food Stamp Sally says I get picked on by everyone. Well, honestly, if you didn't come on as Food Stamp Sally and say, "Hey, Carpo," insinuate I use food stamps, it's not that I'm offended. It's just that being straight, honest with people. I've had this thing about I really want to help to, I don't know, talk about subjects that are important, but at the same time, I realize a lot of people don't give a shit, and whenever I do a live cast or a normal, video, people always come on and they have some kind of rude comment. When you get to talk to people, you find out that they mean well. Most people mean well, and they care about you. They care about each other. And there is so much misunderstanding on comments. Okay, so let's get back to where I was at here. Frank says, I've been having flashbacks of my cousin Strawberry. I never looked at his neck. I'm trying to pick on that one. I'm trying to figure that one out. You talking about fucking heroin? Andre says, how did you get into firearms? Family or just self-interest? Well, my father was his grandfather, I should say, my grandfather was in World War II, and then my father was in Vietnam. He was not a warrior. He was not a tough guy. He was a peaceful, relaxed poet. He had no intention of hurting anybody, but they were sent into villages to like slaughter people, and that's what Vietnam was pretty much. When I was a kid, he took me out and taught me how to shoot. He had a 32 that he inherited from his father, who was in World War II, and took it off a dead German soldier. He basically took it off a soldier, stashed it, and took it back to the States. Passed it on to me. Then somebody stole it from me, and I've never seen it since. But I also had a 303 that was my grandfather's in World War II that the cops took because I got busted with weed, and I never saw that again. Basically, I live in this country, yay, America, freedom, right? If you get busted with a joint, you can't have a gun. Um, Different story altogether, but it's bullshit. I feel like I hold so much in on a daily basis. I fucking hate this government. I hate this country sometimes. Not the people, not the land I live in, not the neighborhoods, not the people, but the way that it's run, and it disgusts me. And I think about all the wars that we have that are completely pointless, and I say, fuck this goddamn bullshit government. I don't care about Trump. I don't care about Joe Biden. I don't care about Obama. I don't care about Bush. All of them, it's like I was not born to be forced to vote for a president and then somehow support one side or another. It's really just aberrant, abhorrent. So, to answer your question, Andre, about how I got into guns, my dad taught me to shoot, and I'm a crack shot. And I guarantee you, when the zombies come, I can hit a motherfucker from 100 yards, no problem, with a 303 British. Yeah, it's funny. You wouldn't think that I'm a good shot. When I was 18, 19, I was obsessed with bows. And I went out in the back behind my house and I just shoot bows all the time. And got to be a pretty damn good shot with an arrow, too. So I've got that silence going for me. Hunting is part of being a human. We never would have got to where we are to be able to be hipsters, right? Without wearing a little bit of meat. I should say we'd never be able to be vegans without eating a bunch of meat to be smart enough to know better. But I'm still a meat eater. Space, Sally, Nancy, whatever. It's all about that EBD card. Yeah, honestly, I should probably take the fucking food stamps. I really would. I really should. Um, Food Stamp Sally. So that's your real name? Well, that's awesome. Hey, if that's your real YouTube name, I didn't know if it was an account that was just made because I've never seen you before. I don't expect anybody to show up on my channel that I've never met before. So it makes it kind of like, I figure somebody set up an account just to harass me. Maybe I just have that expectation that people are always out to get me, right? I'm paranoid. I'm fucking paranoid, dude. You guys are coming to get me. I can see you in there. I see your intentions. Oh, shit. This is fun. I like it. I feel like I'm with you all. I know it sounds weird, but I didn't think I'd be able to do live casts because I thought it'd be too awkward. But the truth is, I actually enjoy it more. I really like talking with people and being able to look at your comments and be able to talk back. So one day I'm taking Zappa shopping with me, he says. I love this. I love these comments, man. This is great. I mean, Andre says it's good getting that stuff out, and haha, crack shot. Okay, I won't test you. It's not about getting anything out. I don't know if you have a thing about guns that to where you think that it's about like getting some aggressions out. Um, I don't know if that's what your comment insinuated or meant, but I'm just gonna say if that's the case, that you were thinking getting that stuff out, or I was thinking how a lot of people do feel like they have to shoot to get out some aggression, but I definitely don't know. I just want to know how to protect my family in case the zombies come. That's all. And I'm not talking about literal zombies. I'm talking about Americans or any other, group that may, we're looking at a future that is very grim. And if people haven't admitted that yet, they don't know how to, you know, enjoy what you have while you have it, because it might not be here very much longer. That's all I can say. Corporal Pap Smear says, man, I've looked over this place and cannot find my airplane anywhere. My friend, if you have not found your airplane, all I can say is you've failed yourself and everyone else. You need to get out there and get that motherfucker. You need to get it under control. Get your shit together. Get a fucking airplane. Get in the cockpit. It's cockpit for a reason. And fly the fuck out of there. You'll figure it out. Cat says, I used to have a Remington 30-06 and 30-30 Savage bolt action. Nice. Those are both handy. Good tools. Andre says meat's the best. What kind of meat? Hunting is a way of life, says Norm. I grew up that way, but I don't like killing anything. Hey, my friend. Me neither. When I was about 11, 12, my dad took me out. We went to the desert, and he's like, asked me if I wanted to go hunting, and we talked about killing or eating a rabbit or something. So we went out hunting with the 22, saw a rabbit, turned around on a dusty road in the middle of the desert, looked at me, just stared at me. I pointed, had him in my sights, and I said, I can't do it. And my dad said, that's all right. I don't blame you. That was a moment for me that I never forgot. Didn't shoot the rabbit. He ran off. We went back, ate canned food or whatever we had. And my dad taught me a lot about that. Respecting nature. Sitting alone in the woods in silence. Going on a canoe in the middle of the winter in a frozen lake. You know, that kind of shit. Which is what I want to go back and do again. Claudia says, do you have any intentional communities from the past or present you've considered joining? No, not at all. I've been with my wife since I was 23. We had a young kid, and then now we have 2 more kids. So having 3 sons and a wife, we've just been working to live and survive. Got a house like 17 years ago. But in recent years, that's changing. In the last, say, couple years, I haven't thought about communities, but rather buying our own land. The only reason is, after researching enough intentional communities, I found that most of those people end up bickering and arguing with one another. In other words, let me just tell you the truth about the family. The family can be a bunch of conniving, fucking backstabbing assholes. I'm talking about deadheads, fish heads, any of the festival goers, not all, but just a select group, the ones who make it their lifestyle. You end up having to kind of cut throats. And so a lot of people try to break away from that, and then they end up being outcasts of the group. And it's hard for people, but a lot of intentional communities are based on these hippie or hipster types who have come from this kind of free lifestyle where they've never really worked hard. I'm talking real labor. And I'm not saying they haven't hustled or sold weed or something else, but real work, dude. I've worked my fucking ass off doing roofing, backbreaking work in the past, which cost me actually my career because I fucked my back up. But, you know, once you've done it, you kind of have this pride in doing real work, and I don't know. But no, as for intentional communities, I guess my point is most of them don't suit my intentions, I guess. Corporal Pap Smear says, no, Carpo, I'm the account set up to harass you. Well, good luck. Nobody wins on that one. You gotta realize Carpo knows what the fuck he's doing. He doesn't put up with bullshit. Andre says, she's got food stamp vids, bro. Well, then right on, see? Just got off work smoking a bowl. I'm here to harass Carpo. Hey, naughty stripper. Y'all can harass me all you want. I think you're great. This is great. I have no problem with it. Hey, Jenna. A weird time. I came at a weird time, says Crystal Dawn. Cockpits. Oh, shit. You guys. Oh, shit. Frank says, what do you think about John Denver? I think he fucking died. He crashed in his plane. That's in all respect. I think he's alright. Not my favorite, but he's a good musician. Space traveler. I bet Delilah Jones was from Kentucky. Let me think. Well, Delilah Jones went to meet... Oh, yeah. The old man never was the same again. If you don't know Delilah Jones, that's from Brown Eyed Women by the Grateful Dead, which was, I believe, a Barlow song, if I'm not mistaken. Barlow and Weir? But anybody who doesn't know the Dead will be like, what the fuck are you talking about, Barlow Weir? John Barlow helped write a lot of the songs for the Grateful Dead. He passed away, I think, last year. He was a phenomenal musician. And the Grateful Dead, for all the people who give him shit about being hippies and just a bunch of stoner jam bands, their music was amazing. It touched many different genres, times, but storylines. It told a story that was often dealt with from people who rode the rails or lived on trains or whatnot. All the different types of people through history. Yeah. I love the Grateful Dead, man. I love the Grateful Dead. Fucking awesome. If y'all want to go meet up really at the beach, seriously, we could all meet someplace between, I would say between Seaside all the way north to like Long Beach, Washington to Seaside, Oregon. Somewhere between there in the Columbia Gorge mouth. That's where the mushrooms are. Even if there's only a few, it would be cool to kind of meet up and go camping for a night or something. Like, I don't know if that's even possible, but a bunch of strangers meet up, stay a night at Fort Stevens. Last time I did it, I just said I was hunting for boletes if I was going to get harassed by cops or anything. Not that it matters. I just put them in my pocket. Even if you don't find anything, hanging out at the campsite, just eating mushroom honey that we already have. That kind of stuff could be really fun. I don't know. It's very possible we could do this. Could actually do this. Right, my bags are packed. Congressman burn shit. I'm here to represent the black people. Is that true? Are you really black? I know that sounds horrible, but you're on the internet, right? You can't trust anybody to be anyone anymore. That's the fucked up thing. I don't even know you, so I've never seen your comment. I've never seen you as a person. I guess there's a way to probably go to your channel, but I don't have the time to right now because I'm doing a live cast. Norm says, you mentioned a while back you were in a band. I'd like to hear it in the background. You would? Okay. You know what's funny is I could probably actually do that pretty quickly. It was funny, I was going to play something in the background earlier, but I was actually going to play Prof, but yeah. It's so funny because I've been listening to this dude named Prof, and he's like a rapper that, he's such a dork. But let's see what we got here. Prof is pretty funny dude. Let's see, time, spare, Carpo, 719. It's the only way I can ever find my own shit. It's called The Songs We Love. It's just an album we did. We did a couple albums, but I don't even know what the name of it was. I'll put it in the background. Probably sound like shit, so it's kind of pointless to really do that. I'll just turn it way down. Hold on. Oh, god damn it. This is what happens when I try to fuck around with stuff. You see what's happening here? I failed it. Okay. I'm frustrating. Anyway, the band was called Time to Spare or Related Material, and it really depend. Oh my god. See, now I'm on. Oh, god damn it. What do you do when your own live broadcast comes on next? So, Space Traveler says, made whiskey and made it well. Cost $2 and burned like hell. Space Traveler says, made whiskey and made it well. Cost $2 and burned like hell. I've been wanting to take a road trip up to the coast of my van. Cost $2 and burned like hell. I've been wanting to take a road trip up to the coast of my van. I've been wanting to take a road trip up to the coast of my van. Dude, we got a total echo chamber going here. Dude, we got a total echo chamber going here. Dude, we got a total. Y'all tripping? Okay. That was way too fucking cool. That sounded really weird from in here, man. I mean, that was fun as fuck. I don't know what to think about that. I mean, that was fun as fuck. I don't know what to think about that. I'm going to catch on these comments. Andre says, thoughts on Beaverton, Oregon? I'm going to catch on these comments. Andre says, thoughts on Beaverton, Oregon? I'm going to catch on these comments. Andre says, thoughts on Beaverton, Oregon? Okay, it's over. Yeah, okay, sorry about that. That was really fucking hilarious. And then when I turned back, it was 1:11:11. So, you know, it's one of those things it's meant to be. That's my brother Nick. He's a good soloist. And this is like 12 years ago, 10 years ago. He's come a long way, and he still posts his stuff on YouTube. His band's been playing. They're pretty good. But yeah, we had a really good time playing music together. Yeah, it's good. I like it. I still listen to it all the time. I really like it. We called it Time to Spare. And I had a certain passion for this music that we played, and our buddy Sam moved to Cali, Nick moved to Hood River, and we just kind of like lost interest in it, and that is what it is. Andre said thoughts on Beaverton, Oregon. I don't have thoughts, except Beaverton is little California. That's where all the people who move up from California, who realize that California sucks and want to come to Oregon, move to. And then when people in Beaverton are sick of living there, they move up to Vancouver, here where I live. And people here then end up moving up north, and so forth. We're all migrating. You know, we don't realize this. Humans are migrating right now. As we speak in America, humans are migrating from the south up north. And people are like, oh no, we're stable, we're America, we're great, we love our nation. No, we're migrating people. We're going to be moving out of the deserts because places like Texas and California are just going to be shitlands eventually. And sorry, that sounds really harsh, but it's true. It's just weird to watch humans migrate. I want to move further north. Space says Grayland Beach. You might be right. I'm guessing secluded as fuck. Yeah, I've heard about that place. There might be good stuff there. Rona party. Yes, dude, that's what I'm saying. We should all meet up and have a coronavirus party. And I don't give a fuck what the rules are. Frank says, are we all in the same book? Yes, I think we are. We could have a good time. Troy says, being careful harvesting along the coast on the Washington side. Yes, they are serious and the cops are serious, but I would like to say if we do harvest in Washington, it would be fun to just realize that you're not there to put them in baggies. You're there to just pick them and put them in your pockets. You don't know what they are. You just got stuff on your hands. You just put your hands on the ground. They got mushrooms stuck on them. They got stuck in your pocket. The truth is we're not really there for collecting major amounts. We're there to hang out. And I think we'd have a good time. But I don't know if this is even possible, so we'll see. Kevin says, I love Prof. Yeah, Prof is badass. I just got an album from him, his newest one, Cutter Horn Sweets, and it was a signed LP, you know. So I ordered a couple copies. And I sent a message to his manager, or to him, and on Twitter, and Stop House Music said, oh, you can use our music as long as you don't, what did he say, don't profit on it, or you're not trying to use it, you know, to capitalize on their fucking tunes, which I'm like, I don't blame you. Being able to put somebody's music in the background is nice, but that's why I use my own. Bum bum bum. Abby, hello Abby. How about you, Foo? Oh, you're funny. I'm actually drinking a little bit of vodka and shit. That's a weird piece of ice. It's vodka and red grenadine, baby. A little bit of red grenadine. Kevin says took him off their label. No, he went off the label of Rhymesayers Entertainment. They kicked him off the label, but he's still in Stop House Music Group. They're not, yeah, they didn't kick him off. Frank says some Carpa band, turn it up. Here we go. I'll just read through the comments and turn it up for a minute. I really like this song, so I'm just going to listen to the first part. Thanks for coming, everybody. It's crazy to have this many people watching me. That's my brother Nick. We argue all the time, but I love him. Camouflaged by blinding lights. It was a dream that I had once and it haunts me to this day. Like a curse, it has evolved and it's taking its time, devouring my brain. Doesn't sound too bad. Good. It was a dream that I had once. I was supposed to be underground. We should both agree that we will both be coming back around. Coming back around. Hey, Tobacco Row. How you doing, my friend? Where'd all the trolls come from? I can't acknowledge a troll this late at night. I just laugh it off. Because trolls have hearts too. I truly believe that. What did it owe me then? What does it owe me now? Did it ever owe me anything? Is anything I want? I'll be back with you in a moment. Could we just as easily give it away? Whatever makes me happy. My brother always sang the same sentiments as I did, because he was my brother. All right, now I took a couple bong hits. Can't believe everybody didn't drop off. Does that actually even sound okay? It's like, I can't tell with live because I know the sound can be really shitty. So, Eric the Lurk says, what trolls Mr. Rowe? Pardon me. But, yeah. Anyway, it's been a really long year. You know how it's late at night, it's like 10 o'clock, and there's, 12 hours in a day? Well, it's also the 11th month with 12 months in a year, and it's almost like we're at the, almost midnight of the year, and the year's really sucked. But it's been awesome too, so. Lo-fi but good. Exactly. That's exactly right. Do you believe in flat Earth? Oh my God, no. I do not believe in flat Earth. I believe in. Okay, the Earth is a cube because I saw it on YouTube. It's a song by Papadosio. It's called "The Earth is a Cube," and that's one of the lines in the song. "The Earth is a cube" because I saw it on YouTube, and it's about basically that situation we're in where we can't believe anything. We don't know what's true. We don't know what's going on. We don't know who's telling us the truth. We don't know whether science is, all the scientists are trying to lie to us, but can you really believe a guy like Carl Sagan is lying to you? Think about it for a minute. Carl Sagan is one of the most down to earth, was one of the most down to earth, intelligent, rational, well thought out people with such a good heart. Carl Sagan was like, I didn't know much about him until, 5, 6 years ago. I mean, I knew of him, but really didn't realize what his real contributions were because astrophysicists, neurologists, physicists, epidemiologists, all the different people who are ologists contribute to this vast knowledge we have of the world around us. And as a philosopher, I consider myself to be, and when I say that, a lover of wisdom, it's not a contentious argument or a debatable thing. I'm a philosopher. There's no way around it. I love wisdom. I learn everything I can. If somebody tells me about something and I'm not sure about it, I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I need to know not just what's going on, but how people think, even if I don't agree. And because of that, I can't build a connection or a specific attachment to any ideas, which means I can't develop a religion. I can't develop a belief system. I can't believe a solid way of thinking because I'm always fluctuating with time, with new knowledge, with the new things that come my way. And it's really lonely sometimes because I feel like one day I'm a liberal, the next day I'm a conservative, one day I'm a Christian, the next day I'm a fucking atheist. Not literally, but just such extremes in motion, in belief, in ideas, and I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to think sometimes. I don't know what even fucking matters. You know? I'm 44. I'll be 45 in a week. I'm gonna die. Probably. I mean, even if with extensions in life, I mean, I'm half through my life, right? That's crazy. But I could die tomorrow. Or I could last longer. But the point is, the good part of my life, I'm past my prime. Okay? I'm getting old. My beard is turning white. I'm getting into a new realm of thinking, of belief, of understanding the value of religion, but also understanding how preposterous it would be for me to buy into any of it, or understanding conservatism, but also understanding that what really matters is taking care of one another, and therefore I'd much rather be a liberal or a left wing because I care about people much more than I care about money or my stocks or my portfolio or the bottom line. I don't give a shit. If my neighbor is starving, I will give anything I can to make sure that they're fed. That's how I feel. A lot of people don't feel that way. Totally get that. Totally understand. When people say America first, to me that only works if everyone is taken care of. I don't care if people disagree with that. I respect you if you want to disagree with that. Because there's part of me that also says America first. But I don't really believe it in my heart. I don't really think that America is all that matters. I don't really think that America is the only country that matters in this world and that if we take care of only ourselves, we'll be fine. Stuck in the middle, right? Stuck in trying to understand who we are. Wait, this part. Here we go. This is my favorite part of our tunes. It's coming. stay tuned. Sorry, just had to hear that part. It was rocking little tune that we wrote many years ago, and I'd really like to do it again. All right, where were we? Let's get down to the bottom here. I'm gonna get down to the bottom. Um, America is a construct? Absolutely. Everything is a construct, though, my friend. You know that. Mike Sullivan says, "Are you a real pastor?" Yes, of course I am, dude. If you guys ever want to come to my church, feel free. I have a large platform, and I get lots and lots of donations through the. Can you imagine me as a pastor? That'd be hilarious. Oh, nice. The Earth is a quantum morphological photograph in a toroidal Rosen bridge. Man, nice. I like that. Mike says nice. Pastor Zebra says, I'm a real YouTube pastor. Are you Pastor Zebra? Are you a real YouTube pastor? And if you are, I'm curious to know. Frank says, oh dang, he's got the Papa cap on as well. Good man. You're funny. You guys are all hilarious. I'm so glad to have all y'all in here just jamming out with me. It's pretty cool. Sorry, I'm shaking the whole camera while I'm like changing the comments. Weed in the collection box. Yeah, exactly, dude. No, honestly, I don't want weed in the collection box. I've got way more weed than I could ever want. I don't smoke that much at all. In fact, I've smoked more weed during this video than I've smoked all day. That's how I am. I smoke late at night. It's late. It's 10:30. Truth is, I should be in there with my kids, tucking them in and reading them a book, but I'm out here with you all, so, you know, I don't know why, because I like talking with people. Because I've been there with my kids all day, and because I live here and I'm basically never leave because I work from home. And it makes it complicated. Makes it really hard. So I feel like this is kind of my escape sometimes, you know. Goalie says a mighty hot dog is our Lord. You're probably right. Well, you could the spaghetti monster might be a hot dog with noodles. Just the noodles are obscuring the hot dog, so you really think it's spaghetti. It's not meatballs, it's hot dogs. I don't know. Anything's possible. Pastor Zebra says, can you imagine me as a pastor? I don't know, because I've never met you before. Yes, I can. I can imagine you as a pastor. Hell yeah. I can imagine a Pastor Zebra from here. Be like dressed in a zebra, like you know what furries are, the people who like to dress up in like animal like costumes and go to these conventions and stuff and like rub on each other. I'm sorry, that's really rude because actually furries don't all do that, but come on, let's be honest, a lot of furries just want to rub on each other. I can see a Pastor Zebra going to one of these furry conventions and just rubbing on people. Oh, sorry. Had to go there. Mike Sullivan, Pope wears a fish hat. Oh, you're correct. Actually, the Pope's hat does represent supposedly a fish, and it has to do with goes way back before Christianity into what you would call paganism, I guess. But I can't go there because I don't want to offend any Christians. It just doesn't go. It doesn't go well. It doesn't wear well with me to talk shit about Christians because they get offended. Mike, hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Abby's my new sister. Yeah, who's Abby, dude? Who are you, Abby? Do I know you from my channel? Because I've seen your comments, but you see, the thing is, you guys got to realize, I really try. See, I see Dakota Moonblade. Some of y'all have changed your names. Some of you all, come on, you got to admit, when you change your name even slightly, it throws me off. And a lot of my subscribers expect me to know who they are, and I don't. And I want to. I really do. Like, if your face was actually on there, like, and I could see who you are, I would totally be able to, oh, okay, it's this person every time, even if you change your name. But people don't want to do that, and I totally understand that. But you got to realize that, ah, my buddy Sam remixed the album. He's the one who made this album for us. I didn't know this was at the end.
Where are those lights coming from, man? I don't know. Too many hits of dust and shit. Crickets are stopping, man.
It's my brother.
Boy, scared of the light. It's a big old light. Oh, shit, man. What's that?
Wow. Okay, that's funny. Um, that was my little brother at 9 years old talking about, where's the dosage, dude? Because when I was, I guess he was like more like 12, we knew a lot about drugs as kids. It was pretty fucking hilarious, man. I mean, we knew way too much about everything as kids. And honestly, looking back, my brother and I were pretty crude about everything. We have something called the Today Show where I remember actually like swinging my cat, or like trying to like make her meow by like squeezing her or something. I was like 12, 11, no, it's like 11 years old, I guess. And I should have known better, but I was trying to make a recording on my tapes, and I was being like, I was like, kitty, and I'd like hug her tight. So she'd go, meow, not harsh. I wasn't hurting her, but I was kind of a dick. And I think about being a kid, and I was mean to my brother. But we found these recordings, and when you hear yourself talking as a kid, you realize what a dick you really could have been to your brother. Nick, if you're out there, sorry, dude. He was the guy in my band that we were just listening to. So he's a good guy. He's a good brother. He means well. He's just like me, too much. We have too much in common. We're way too much in common. But anyhow, that's another story altogether. I thought I would put on, what else have I got here for time to spare? Anyway, it don't matter. This is my song. Pastor says you're supposed to collect the weed, then send the weed to me. Yeah, right. I can. I don't have too much. I hope we aren't related. Oh man, how offensive. I'm so sad. Norm says, how's your sciatica recently? Thanks for asking, Norm. Sorry, this thing's all fucked up. My sciatica's been okay, but the last few days I've been getting my tools out in the garage and getting everything ready for doing some carpentry. And I all of a sudden kind of, oh shit, at this point. Last night I was trying to sleep and my left leg was like, oh god, because my sciatica runs down my left leg and thigh and shin, front of my shin, and then down to my big toe. That's where the sciatic nerve goes to. Sorry. This is when we had a drummer that was Sorry, we had this crazy drummer before the album we were just listening to, and this was back then. Where was I? Yeah, my sciatica really fucked me up for a while, and I got a lot better. I feel a lot better. But then the last few days I've been moving tools, and it started acting up, and I've got to be careful. And once you've had it, there's nothing you can do about it. Mike says I'm a recovering furry. Wah, wah, wah. Dagoon Gold. Oh, Jesus. Old teddy bear. The ladies tell me so. Are you a teddy bear in the way that you are just soft and cuddly, or are you a teddy bear in the way that you like maul people and bury them in their carcasses and eat them? You gotta be careful. The coyote? Yeah. Yeah, actually, dude, I could see myself being a furry in another world. I mean, I have a family and a wife, so I was just like, I've gone to Soak, but I've seen people who love to dress up in weird furry costumes, but aren't quite furries. I've never been at any type of furry thing, but I wear. I mean, dude, I've got like 6 wolf hats hanging over here. So I ain't really want to talk. There's kind of a wild side in all of us. You know what I'm saying? I've got these things. I got a whole bunch of them. I bought a multi pack, and I bought the brown one, and I bought some white ones for when I get older. That's how funny it is. I actually like. It's kind of like my spirit animal, the wolf, because I'm such a badass. I have to have the most badass spirit animal because I'm so cool. You, you just can't get away with it. You gotta have the coolest spirit animal. You can't have like a porcupine or a lizard or something. That would be not cool enough. That's kind of a joke. I mentioned something to some girl who was saying, "Oh, my spirit animal is this or that," and I was like, "Yeah, isn't it funny how your people's spirit animals are never like a slug or a leech or a donkey?" I don't know. Just a thought. I'm gonna flip through the comments. The real folk blue says dating in your 40s is a nightmare. Hmm. I believe you. I really do. I can't imagine being single in today's world. And that I don't want that to sound hopeless to people. I really don't. What I mean is for me, I can't imagine it because I've never when my wife and I met, there was no internet, okay? We've been together for 22 years almost. And so, yeah, 97, 98. We met in 98. Um, the internet was around, but it wasn't a big thing. There wasn't a big dating scene on the internet, and so things have changed so much since then. I'm just glad that I have somebody and I don't have to deal with that shit, personally. Tobacco Row would change me name. See, Carbon Dakota says I should have my real face on here. Well, it's funny. There's kind of a balance. Some people don't have their face. Some people do. I don't mind doing it. I don't have a Facebook account. I use Twitter reluctantly because I just signed up recently to bitch at politicians. But I don't necessarily use my face for YouTube, but it's because all my videos are my face. But it would be nice to be able to see other people's faces. Even if, because YouTube already knows who you are. Once you've signed up, I mean, you can't really hide who you are. I mean, you can if you have a VPN. Some people just really don't want to be known. I kind of gave up on that. Once I had 4,000 videos over 10 years, I was like, there's no way I can hide from the CIA. So, FBI, come get me for talking about mushrooms kind of shit. It's really, I used to have grow videos. I mean, that shit never goes away. It is what it is. I mean, I put myself out there for the world. I feel like I've just like given up my soul to YouTube, but not to YouTube as a company or anything, but as a to the people who watch YouTube. Like, why have I given up so much of myself and revealed so much of who I am? What's the point? I don't know. It's really weird. If we're all Carpo's kids, then we're brothers and sisters. No, you're not Carpo's kids. Dude, do not ever say that again. You're not my kids. I've got 3 fucking kids in there, alright? I don't need more kids. Adam says, mad love, y'all. Sandpaper Sally. Oh shit. Look, I changed my name. You're hilarious. Oh my god. This is my real face, and I'm a patron, and Meridian Heights is my brother. Robin, I know you, Robin. Yeah, you're awesome. Meridian Heights, yeah. It's weird because like okay, so when I see Meridian Heights, the name, I know that it's a guy, but I see it, and the first time I saw it, I thought it was a female for some reason. Why? Because it looks like Meredith or something. I don't know, but we associate things, and we try to, like as humans, we take our best guess at what's really going on in the world, right? We're like, okay, this person must be a female or a male by the way they talk or the way they react. but you're never quite sure. And I don't know, it's just really weird to be in that kind of state where you don't know who people are. But yes, I definitely know who you are. Um, I appreciate that. This is my real face, says Chris. You funny, you funny. Yeah, y'all are pretty fucking cool. I think y'all are pretty cool. Frank says I've changed my attitude. Yeah. Sorry about that. Patron like the tequila. No, patron, people who actually give me money. If any of my patrons are on here, you're welcome to like brag about it. That's amazing to me because I've still never understood that, and I hate Patreon. I do. And so when I'm like, don't donate to me on Patreon, but I have a Patreon account kind of thing, it's because so far YouTubers and other people who talk about shit like this have never found a way to make anything. So, for example, a counselor gets paid hundreds of dollars an hour, right, or $100 an hour, or whatever, to talk to people about their lives and to ramble about stupid shit, or a professor at a school who's teaching things even when they're not working. And I think on YouTube it's different because you're just a random person who doesn't have the credentials, right? But I've always thought how cool it would be to like be a counselor and like talk with people. But I was like, I could be a black market psychedelic counselor, like travel the country and like feed people mushrooms and be like, hey man, let's fucking get to the bottom of your problems. That's actually something I would love to do. But God, the risk of that is going to prison for years. So it's like, I can't do that. And I thought, how arrogant of me to think that I know better, but I've, taken a lot of psychedelics and talked with a lot of people about shit. So I figure, I can do better than some. We have things like that locally in Portland and the other areas, where people can go and have safe trips. But do you really want to sit in like a hospital setting? Like, I don't know, with the legal psychedelics and shit in Portland and Oregon, I don't know what they're going to do with that, because psilocybin was legalized, not just decriminalized, which means that it'll be given under a setting of a doctor's setting. So hopefully they have peaceful enough rooms to where people can enjoy their trip. Wearing headphones is nice. That's a good thing. Norm says you ought to bring your brother on your show. I should. If Nick's out there and if you're watching, then, which you're probably not, but my brother doesn't watch my channel. But he has talked about doing a podcast and he wants to do one. He did a couple by himself and with his friends and shit. And he, we're brothers. We argue sometimes, but for the most part we get along. It's just getting an organized time where we both feel like talking about shit. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to have a time when you meet up and do shit like that. So, undercover furry. Do you own a cape? I do own a cape. Thank you for asking. But I don't wear it. No, it's just a Halloween one, but we do have one. Sciatica. Ooh, do you do yoga stretches? I did yoga for a while. Actually, I really did. I tried Kundalini yoga, and it was pretty crazy. I was like, I had some weird experiences where I was super clear, but I can't really explain it. Kevin wants to go to Burning Man again. So do I, man. I don't want to go anywhere. I want to go to a fucking concert. Any concert, man. I'm sick of this shit. Let's see what we got here. Never done Burning Man. Dead shows. See Dead and Company. Yeah, Dead and Company is awesome. I don't care about the fact that Jerry's not with them. I saw about 10 shows with Jerry Garcia, and I'm grateful for that. I think it was 11 shows. And then after that, I didn't see him for a long time, but I saw Dead and Company and like a couple of the other offshoots of that. Further and Further Fest, I think, once, something like that. But we also saw like their reunion tour. I love the Dead. Great music. Anyway, it's about 11 o'clock, which means that I should probably part ways. It's been about an hour and 45 minutes, and I'm getting tired. I can tell I'm burning out. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to snuggle with my wife, watch a movie, or if she's still awake, or if she will let me. And then I'm going to get a snack because I'm kind of hungry still. I try to invite all the feelings even if I'm sad, says Abby. Hey, I know what that feels like, sister. You got to. That's all we can do because we're all fucked up. Birds on a wire. Good night, guys. Good night. Good night, DB. Good night, everybody. Burning Out is the least Burning Man. Burning Man was a fucking awesome time. Burning Man is great. I love it. Okay, Carpo, it's been fun trolling the sidebar. Yeah. Wait a minute. Are you trolling as somebody else? I should have known Tobacco Rose, one of those people. Weirdos. Y'all are weirdos. Yep, almost 2 a.m. there. Yeah, it's 10:55 here. So I gotta get off before 11 p.m., so I'm out. Y'all are peaceful. I love everyone, but Abby? You gotta love Abby too. Come on, man. Wait, what was that? What are some of your kids' favorite books you read to them? Claudia, come on, don't put me on the spot. I don't ever read books to my kids. Books are dangerous. They might teach my kids things that aren't true. I'm kidding, of course. I haven't read books to my kids in a little while. They read their own books. My 11-year-old reads. He really likes dragon books, those kind of things. He's been reading, Fire, something Fire. I can't remember what it is, but it's different than Dungeons and Dragons, but it's the same kind of thing. He likes it a lot. And my other son, he's stubborn as shit and he won't read anything. But we're trying. We're working on it. It's been challenging raising kids during COVID, So, it's been challenging being a human being during COVID. And I don't know what else to say about it. So, I love you all. Kevin, Andre, Abby. Y'all are pretty damn cool. Don't argue. Can't tell if you're being sarcastic because I'm just flipping through a lot of it. TB, Frank. You guys are gluten knocked. Guten knocked, sorry. Good night. I saw that as gluten. See, living in the 21st century, you see gluten as gluten because the language has changed. It's just weird. Frank, good night. Abby, good night. All y'all. Later, Chris. Bye. Don't forget to count to 10. And thank you to my patrons. I pray for you. I pray for your souls. Latro.